Carol, you're on? You're muted. Got everybody muted, Carol, including yourself. I don't
All right, there I am. Okay. Okay, Josh is going to run the training tonight. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to be 50 sometimes.
So, Carol, I'm headed that direction. So guys, tonight, I kind of talked with Cheryl a little bit, and, we kind of talked about what's going on within our own personal teams. Obviously, right now, everybody is getting ready for conference. We're going to look this evening. I'm going to give you guys a plan that I've structured for several people in my front line that are looking to make the jump into leadership to that SSC position. And we all know that conference is by far the biggest payoff of our time. In reference to anything that we do in this business, conference pays off more than anything else. Basically, what I'm going to go over tonight is a plan to have 5 to 10 new people at conference with you in the fall. The reason this is going to be important, company has shown now in a couple different ways. However many people you got with you at conference, when you go to the spring conference, that's your club level, right? So if we look at bringing 5 to 10 new people to conference, what are we talking about? Well, depending on where you're at, it's anywhere from 5 to 10 new qualifiers. If you just getting started, and you look at going to 6 club, guys, that's an SSC position, right? So in theory, this could be ground zero. You're just starting, and your goal is to bring 5 to 10 new people to make that push into leadership position by the spring. Because you got to hold the qualification for 2 months. You got to build the volume. So we're going to look at a 3-step process, and really it focuses on 10 people a day that we're talking to for the next 12 days. Obviously, people are going to need time in October to, if they say yes, to plan, get ready, and go. So, the idea that you're going to invite anybody past the point of about October 1st or 2nd and get a high return, it's not likely, right? Most people just don't have the time. So we're going to run it for the next 12 days, 10 people a day, 120 people in 12 days we're going to make an invitation to. Some of them will be cold. Some will be people that we know, friends, family, right? Some of them have probably already heard about this. So we're going to look at basically kind of a 3-step process that occurs in a conference invitation. And, the thing that I like to do when I go into a conversation is I want to have a plan. I want to know exactly what I'm going to say, what questions I'm going to ask, the direction I'm going to drive the conversation so that I can hopefully get a payoff with the time that I'm putting in on the telephone or face-to-face. So we know we're going to make an invitation. We know after that invitation is made, we're going to enter into some type of negotiation, right? They're going to have some objections about why they can't go. And then we're going to look to settle after the negotiation ends. Why do you go into negotiation? You want to settle. You want to get an outcome. So we're going to look for every person we invite to know that we're going to issue an initial invitation. Now, when I issue an initial invitation, what I'm looking to do immediately is I'm going to try to establish common ground with the person that I'm talking to. If I'm talking to a trainer, the first thing I'm going to say is, hey guys, man, this thing is going to be packed with trainers from all over the world. People that are doing just what you're doing right now, and they are absolutely crushing it. They're building a business within their personal training business. Come, man, Austin is incredible. Have you not been to Austin? It's a blast. The food's great. The people are great. And you'll be surrounded by people that are doing what you're doing from all over the world. And you can hear from them how it's working for them, what they're doing. It's going to be a ton of fun. That's my invite, right? I'm going to find common ground. I'm going to try to relate. If it's a doctor, man, obviously there's a large medical community there, right? And you can check into this. Sometimes, I don't know if they'll be doing it at this conference, but they do put on the portion of our conference where if you're a medical doctor and you attend it, you get some credit. You get some hourly credit. So if you guys have a doctor you want to invite, see what kind of doctor they are and check in with Juice Plus Corporate, see if they're running that. And if a guy can get credit for hours that he's already got to get, man, that's a wedge, right? So common ground. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the negotiation phase, right? Everybody is going to have an objection. I anticipate objections. I like them. I know they're coming. You might as well decide to get excited about them because ain't nothing you can do to stop them. They're going to be time. They're going to be money. Okay? Anytime I get an objection, the first thing I want to do is I want to go into an agreement with the person because I don't want to turn the thing defensive, right? If we get into a defensive contest about why their reasons are not good enough to not go to this thing, and we start telling them they're full of crap, it ain't going anywhere. Excuse my language. So I'm going to go to Feel, Felt, Found. We all know Feel, Felt, Found, right? I'm going to go, look, Carol, I totally understand how you feel. Believe me, the first conference that I went to, man, I had to sell. I felt like everything in my suitcase to get enough money rounded up to go. I had to stay with like 5 people. Felt like I was staying at a hostel. I had to beg 3 people to babysit my kids. You know, you would not believe. So listen, I totally understand how you feel about not being able to pull this thing off. But you know what I found? Look, I don't know if this will work for you or not, but you know what I found? When I went, oh my God, my eyes were open. You're going to dive right back into, as you finish Feel, Felt, Found, you're going to dive right back into your story, right? You're going right back to why you invited them to begin with. So when we finish our negotiation phase, as this thing is ending, you're going to know what direction they're going in. Whether they're probably going to say, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to figure out a way to get there. I can't wait to see you there. Now, if they agree to go, you're going to lock it in like this. You're going to say, great. If I see you there, you do this, and I'm going to do this. For me, guys, on a new person, I know how powerful it is to have new people. I always buy a few extra conference tickets. If you go, I'll pick up your ticket. If you go, I'll help with your lodging. If you, I will. All right. We're going to seal the deal. If they agree to yes, I'm going to lock it in by giving them something they were not expecting to sweeten the pot, right? To lock in that agreement to go. Okay. If they object and they need what they call time to make the decision, right? I'm immediately going to push into a tool. All right. I want to do something else to build the belief about why they should attend to begin with. I'm going to go to a tool. If I have a Zoom event to invite to on a Thursday, if I'm making these invitations today to conference, which I made some, my fallback was, you know what? Why don't you do this? At 5:30 Pacific Standard Time tonight, there's going to be a webinar taking place, and you will have an opportunity to hear from people all over the U.S. that are using these products. Some of them are involved in our business. Some of them are not. Some of them are just customers, but they're all going to have a common thing. Health. They're going to look good. They're going to feel good. And you can see for yourself what this deal is really all about. And then after that, we'll talk about what you liked about what you saw. And we'll look and see if going to conference makes sense. Now, some of these people are going to be hard-nosed. They're just going to shake their head. Look, Carol, I know what you're doing. I've seen it on your Instagram, your Facebook. I heard Kathy talking about it. Listen, I tried 3 of these things. None of them worked. I hate these types of businesses. I'm not interested in any of it. And if you value our friendship, you will not bring this up to me again. Carol, listen, I do value your friendship. And because of that, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I know we're friends. And because we're friends, I know you're going to help me. I respect what you're saying. I know this is not for you, and I can appreciate that. But if you would please attend next Thursday night's Zoom event, and watch that event and get enough information to where you understand what this is. So the people that you do know in your life that are looking for a mission, they want to belong to something bigger. They like the idea of inspiring healthy living around the world. You know enough to give them a baseline information so that you can then forward them to me, and I'll take it from there, and we can partner together. I know as your friend, you'll help me with that. Guys, we're negotiating and we're settling. We're going to settle for something. But the bottom line is, at the end of it, you get a yes. And if you can get the first initial yes, then you got your foot in the door, right? Then from there, it's going to be one exposure after another until they feel like they're educated and they know how to make their decision. And a lot of times, guys, in the negotiation process, I share my goal with them. Carol, listen, just so you know, I want you to understand my goal here. My goal is not to get you to buy the product or sign up for the business. That's not what my job is about. My job is about educating you about our food and about our company, giving you all the information, and after that, we're going to part as friends. This will either make sense to you or it won't, but afterwards, you will never be forced into doing anything you don't want to do, and we're going to be friends. That's my goal. That's what I want to do. And I tell people that right out of the gate sometimes. So again, I can get them out of their own way and let them really see and hear what it is that we're all excited about here. You know, Carol, in terms of, you know, that step 1, 2, and 3, I know that, you know, you and I and Jocelyn and a few others went over this on the phone. You know, I think that's kind of really it. That's the invitation process that we've been walking through with everybody, guys. I don't want to tie up everybody's time here tonight, but that's what's been working for us is, really the big obstacle in this business, man, is developing that thing inside of you that gives you the courage to pick up the telephone or to strike up the conversation. Once you got that in place, the rest is downhill. And I find for myself and anything I've ever done in life, whether it's the Juice Plus business or anything else that we do, confidence is everything when it comes to execution. If you feel good about who you are, you're confident about what you have to talk about, and you know the direction that you're going in, it's going to make it a lot easier for you to step up to the plate and do the only activity that actually builds this business, which is getting on the telephone, getting out in the street, and engaging with people on a very personal level. Whether they're strangers on the street or people you've known for years, we've heard stories all over tonight. Friends, been knowing about this stuff for years. What tipped them over? Well, guys, more often than not, the thing that'll tip people on Juice Plus is, like we heard so many people say tonight, just life. Life beats you up, man. And sometimes you get to a point where you're beat up enough where you'll look at anything. They said towards the end of Steve McQueen's career, as he got cancer, he was down in Mexico trying stuff that people had never heard of. You got cancer, you'll do anything to get rid of it. When people get to a place in life where they're tired of being tired, whether it's financial or health or whatever it is, they're ready for an opportunity. And if you come in there as a professional with a plan and you explain your goal of education and you walk them through the steps like a professional, you're going to get a very high level return. Now, if we look at the 120 people that people are going to be talking to, in the next 12 days, if you choose to take on the task, and believe me, I know it's a freaking daunting one, okay? If you choose to take that on, I want you guys to understand that, out of the 5 to 10 people that you get to conference, out of the 120 that you talk to, that's not really the prize. Yes, having those people at conference is going to be big. But understand, guys, out of the 110 to 115 that said nope, what did you get every single one of them to do? You got every single one of them to review a tool and refer a friend. If it wasn't for them, they're going to refer a friend. If it was for them, you're going to have them review tools and keep walking through tool, three-way call, conference, new distributor, new rep, right? So the bigger prize in that 120 people, 10 people a day, the people that you bring to conference are going to be awesome. And yeah, that's going to really boost your business. But those other 120, just realize that there's probably 15 to 20 new distributors. If you did your job right, there's probably 15 to 20 new reps that you will put on out of that effort that did not come to conference. And here's the thing. What you're going to do is you're going to say, guys, I know this conference is not going to work for you, but I know this is something you absolutely want to do. Here are the dates for the spring. And you're going to load for the spring, right? So, Carol, that's all I got for tonight. I'll turn it back to you.
I don't have any training tonight. So
I have a question.
I was just going to say, unless anyone has some questions for Josh, or yeah.
I want to know how much a conference ticket is.
Until tomorrow, $100. And then it's up to $150.
Does it end tomorrow or
today? My mom needs one, right? Since she didn't
yes.
tell me to buy one.
Yes.
Does it end tomorrow or today?
9:20, I thought they said.
And Zach too.
Yeah. So through today, I got an email on it. Here it is. It's 9:20. 9:20. I've got the email right here. So yeah, it's tomorrow.
Okay.
$100, and then it goes to 150.
Right.
Hi, this is Manon. I just wanted to toss something out there. First of all, Josh, that was rocking. Thank you so much. So many golden nuggets.
You're welcome.
It's truly a gift. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Also, you mentioned talking to medical professionals. They do have the nutraceutical conference part, and that's a $150 ticket, and it includes the Juice Plus conference. And medical people who are looking for CMEs, continuing medical educational units, you get that with that, and that's a big deal. So just kind of putting it out there that $150 for 15 units is nothing. Okay,
15 or 50?
You get to go to a cool town in Austin. So I just wanted to toss that out there to really get out of your own way and talk to those medical people.
Is it 15 or 50?
And have a fun time.
Is it 15 or 50, Manon?
I believe it's 15, 1-5. That's a big deal.
Okay.
Big deal.
15 CMEs. Got it. Thank you so much. That was invaluable. Yeah, guys. I mean, look, the medical industry is wide open. It's barely tapped. It's more challenged than ever from a revenue standpoint. I got a lot of doctors, chiros, and other guys that are in my business, and they all say the same thing. We're not making the money we used to, and we're working twice as hard. So a lot of them are looking for ways to ratify that issue, rectify that issue. So anyway, that's it for me, Carol. Thank you.
Anyone else have any questions? No? All right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Night.
Thank you.
Bye, guys. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Night.